All right, everybody. Starting the car up. I'm gonna go ahead and go through everything.
Best way to buy glasses?
Gotta turn that off. All right, we're gonna go ahead and do a test here to get our max mileage. Let me turn this off. All right, let me set some things up just so you know. I'm gonna go ahead and go to trip B. I'm gonna reset trip B. All right, so you can see I'm at 0 miles. We're gonna see how many total miles that I get. Yeah, we're gonna look at that screen, and actually, probably not this screen. We'll be looking at this screen here. All right, so we're at 0 miles. It's 55 degrees, and I'm gonna go back and forth between trip B and how many miles I have on my electric charge. If you see right now, it says I have 36 miles on my electric charge. So I charged my car up last night. It's about 6:29 a.m. I'm going to take my son to school, and I'm going to show you how I hypermile. I'll also be having you come down here to look too, okay? Go ahead and pan down here. All right, so you see these 3 buttons down here. I've got drive mode, HV EV mode, and EV auto mode. I don't mess with any of these buttons. I have my drive mode set to HV EV. I have my so up here I have it set to eco mode. I have EV mode, and you see the EV down here. That means that I'm driving in electric vehicle right now. So we're gonna go ahead and start the drive. Now I do a lot of the hypermiling that you see on other videos and stuff like that. See, my battery's at 100%, showing 35.9 miles. We're going to hopefully get at least 35, maybe 36 miles. Bless you. It's gonna be great on the video. We're gonna get between 35 and 36 miles on an electric charge, maybe more. So we are gonna hypermile. So I'm going down a hill here. Bless you. I don't know how to edit those out. So I'm gonna do my normal hypermiling. I'm not gonna go crazy on my drive. Gonna get up to speed. The speed limit's around 40. You're gonna notice that I'm going to go mostly the speed limit. I will, from time to time, maybe go a little bit over and coast, just like you would hypermile. But I'm not gonna do anything any different. Now, if the temperature, notice the temperature is 55 degrees. If the temperature is, say, 65 or 70, I would get much better results. You all know that temperature does affect the electric battery. So 55 degrees today, you know what? This is the day we're videoing. This is what we get, 55 degrees. I'm probably going to be in the 35-ish mile range, maybe 35 and a half, something like that. But again, if you do these techniques, you can extend the life of your battery and get in the mid-30s on your electric range. So just driving here, speed limit's 40. I'm doing 40. I'm hypermiling, taking it real easy. As you can see here on my score, my driving's within the blue. I'm doing 40. I will let you know that it's a little foggy right now. If you turn the heater on or the AC on, as you guys probably know, maybe you don't, it does lower your battery. So if I do it, I only do it for a few seconds so I can get the window unfogged, and then I change it up. Okay, here's where we're gonna start. So down here, point down here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it off of electric mode, and I'm gonna quickly turn it back on. That's the first key. So if you notice up here, my EV mode is not on, but look down here at my miles, and look, my electric miles are depleting. This is the first step to doing this correctly. So what's happening is I'm tricking the system. That's the only way I can think about it. I'm tricking the system into switching in and out of modes. Now, it's not an exact science. After about 0.5 miles, it'll switch back, and you may or may not hear it. It'll switch to gas mode. See, I'm still dropping down my electric miles, so it's still thinking I'm in electric mode right now. But here in just a little bit, I'm actually picking up my speed. I'm going downhill. I'm going to go ahead and coast now. I've got a red light coming up. Now, Here in a second, I'm going to switch over so I can see my mileage. Now, if you listen, it's going to switch into a hybrid mode. And that was at 1.6 miles. So I'm going to register my mileage right now. I am in actually in hybrid mode right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my mileage. You guys don't have to do this. This is how I do it. I'm in once this thing kicks back over to electric mode, I'll record my mileage. So what I'm doing is I'm actually in hybrid mode. So what happens when you are driving is when you take off from a stop, you are eating up a ton of electric battery. The more you put the foot down on the pedal, the more electric you're using up. You might use up a half a mile to a mile of electric, and you've only gone maybe a tenth of a mile. So the key to this is when you're at a stop, switch over. Notice it's still in, if you look down here, the EV mode has not popped back up. So if when you're at a stoplight or a stop sign and you've got enough room to go, switch the mode to hybrid. You're driving maybe, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and have a stop here. You're gonna maybe get a tenth of a mile of hybrid use there. Okay, it's just switched. I'm gonna go ahead and write my miles. That's 2.5. That means I went 0.9 miles. 0.9 miles in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heater on just for a minute. Turn my heater on just for a minute. Now what I'm gonna do is go back down here, Brian. I'm gonna switch back down. I'm gonna push the button. Boom, I am in. And I'm gonna pick my speed up. I'm gonna go kind of fast. Get up to speed. 2.5, 2.6. And I switch over to EV. Boom, EV. About 0.1 miles right there. And now I'm gonna coast, do my normal hypermiling. So I went 0.1 miles. Now it's cold out. It's cold out, so I'm gonna actually take longer to do it. Again, the warmer the car is, the quicker you'll go back to EV mode. So I'm just gonna let my car defrost, and then I'm gonna turn off my heater. If you only do it for short periods of time, again, it won't really eat up your battery. So I'm gonna let my my heater go. See, I'm just coasting now. I'm using all my electric. So I only went 1/10 of a mile. A couple tips and tricks. If you're going up to say 35 miles per hour, you only eat up about a half of a tenth of gas. If you're going anywhere from say 40 to mid 50s, maybe 60 miles per hour, you're eating up about 2/10 of a mile's worth of gas. And then if you're getting up to speed on the highways, which we're going to be going on the highway here, you're going to be eating up anywhere from 3/10 to 7/10 of a mile, depending on how quickly your car comes back. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn my hybrid mode off. And so we've gone 3.6 miles, but we've only used up about 2.5 miles of electric. But we've also used up about a mile of hybrid. So you can see I've got 33.8 miles. I'm doing my hypermiling. I need to turn my cruise on. I'll be on the highway soon. So this is how I do it. Now notice how my regenerative braking got me back up to 34.1. What did we start with? I forget what the numbers we started with. 36. Was it 36.1? I forget what we started with when we started this.
36 even.
36 even. So according to my battery, I've only used 1.9 miles of electric, but we've driven 4.2 miles. So this is how I do this. So I've got 34.1. I'm just hypermiling. The highway's right up here. I'm going to get on the highway. Maybe if they'll let me in. So I'm just going to hypermile, do my normal hypermiling techniques. Now, I punch it. When I get on the highway, I punch it. And again, you don't have to keep track of all your numbers. This is how I do it. All right, I'm gonna be getting on the highway. So again, down here, Brian, I'm gonna switch this middle button. I'm gonna purposely switch it so that I'm going to 4.6. I'm gonna punch it on the highway. So I was at 4.6, get up to speed, which is about 72 miles per hour. And I'd say punch it, because it's a Prius. Okay. Boom, 4.6 to 4.9. Went 0.3 miles. I'm gonna write that down. 0.3 miles, I'm in electric mode again. So I've gone 1.3, I've used 1.3 miles of quote unquote gas. So now we are just cruising like normal. I've gone 5.3, 5.4 miles. I got 32.7, 32.6 miles of electric. Now, as you all know, cold temperatures eat up the battery, and faster speeds like highway speeds eat up the battery as well. So I'll be using the highway 2 times today. So that eats up my battery. If I was just city driving, small speeds, nothing more than 45, 50 miles per hour, who knows? Maybe I could get almost 38, 40 miles on an electric charge. But this is the route I take every morning, so I know this route really well. And it's going to take me, again, between 35, I might hit 36 miles on an electric charge. But as you can see, the temperature is 57 degrees. I'm still at 87% battery. I've got 31.1 miles. This is going to eat up these miles because I'm on the highway. I'm going up and down some hills. Again, my cruise control says I'm at 73. So I'm just going to eat up some electric. It's just the way it goes because I'm going faster. When I get off the highway, I'll probably be at, I've got about 5.2 miles before my exit. So I'll probably be at 24, maybe 24 miles of electric charge left. I don't know, something like, no, maybe 23 or 22. So just sit back and enjoy the ride. And also, as you can see, my score, it's not very good. It's a 44 out of 100. That's because when I push that middle button, the HV/EV button, and I purposely set it to gas mode or hybrid mode, I'm punching it because I want to get up to speed as quick as possible. If you try to do that in your electric, that's why you only get 26 or 28 miles when you just keep it on electric. That's why you don't get very good. Again, it's not miles per gallon. I call it miles per dollar. I think that's a better choice to use. Miles per dollar is how many miles can you go on $1. So I can get a lot further switching this mode. And when I doing this today, you'll see that I probably used up anywhere from 3 to 4, maybe at most 4.5 miles of gas. And because this thing is so efficient, 4 miles of gas is nothing. It's a 10-gallon tank, and I can go 400 plus miles easily all day long on this. And I just filled up the gas tank yesterday. I can fill up the gas on normal everyday usage. I can fill up the gas tank about every 6 weeks. Now this was just over 3 weeks, about 3.5 weeks, because we had to take a couple long trips. But normally I can go 6 weeks filling up. So it's not killing my gas either by punching it like that. I mean, I'm punching it hard to get up to speed so I can coast and get back to EV mode. We've got about 2.5 miles to the exit. I'm at 74% battery, 26.7 miles. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heater on, or the defrost on, just for a minute or two. Look what it did. It went from 26 and change to 23.2. That's gonna kill. If you have to have your heater on or you have to have your AC on, just understand that it's gonna kill your battery quicker. But you'll notice once I take this back off, it'll jump back up into the 25, 26 range because I'm only using it for very short bursts. See, I'm at 26.2. So if you do have to use your heater, use it sparingly. If you have to use your AC, use it sparingly. What I'll usually do in the mornings, because it's not really that bad, temperature got up to 60, I'll just roll the windows down for a short period of time just to cool the temperature down here. But I try to use the heat / defrost or the AC as sparingly as possible. But if you do these little tips, these little tricks that I'm doing, you're going to really greatly extend the life of your battery. If you notice, like I said, my battery said at the start of the trip that I had 36 miles. I've gotten it up to 37.6 at the start of a trip. And that's obviously when the temperature has been a little bit warmer. So 37.6, your battery, if you notice, will normally never say that. So I don't know if it's pushing the limits of the battery and it's actually giving you more life. I don't know, but if you tell me in the comments below what you're usually getting when you start your battery. I know when I was starting mine up, it would only be in the 24, 25, 26, maybe 27 range. And now I'm getting in the 34 to 37 range depending on the temperature. So my exit's coming up here in a half a mile. I'm not going to get in front of this truck, so I'm just going to go ahead and coast a little bit. So again, I am using some hypermiling techniques. If you notice, I've got 24.4 miles left on my electric charge, 66% battery. My goal is always to get back to the highway here with 50% battery. If I can get back to the highway here with 50% battery, then I know I've had a really successful EV day. Probably should follow the laws and put my turn signals on. So I'm not taking this first exit, I'm taking the second exit here. So what I like to do is if I still have my cruise on, I like to coast from usually at 70 miles per hour. I like just to coast here because the speed limit goes down. And this is where I'm going to regenerate some more of my battery back. I'm going to notice I'm at 23.9. I should get up to about 24.3 or so by regenerating, coming around this curve. And then when I get around the curve, when I get around the apex, I'll flip the switch again to put it on hybrid mode. And so I'm getting ready to do it. Switch to EV mode here. Let me switch so I can see my miles. 12.6, 12.7. I'm going to punch it. I'm at 12.7. I should get about 0.2 of a mile. Again, I'm punching it, getting up to speed. Hit the button. Notice sometimes it doesn't want to go back right away. I'm coasting right now, so I'm not even actually using. There we go. It went back. Okay, 0.2 of a mile. Now I've done this enough. I know what my mileage is going to be. So again, I got it up to 60 miles per hour, and it took me about 0.2 of a mile to get there. Because again, this is not a race car. So I've driven 13.2 miles. I still have 65% battery left. I'm going to switch over so you can see how much. Oops, 23.8. There we go. 23.7 battery. I'm at 64% life left. I'm doing 55 miles per hour, and I'm hypermiling the best I can just to get to maximize. Now sometimes there's a light up here. Most times I'll hit green. Sometimes I'll hit yellow. If I can keep it on green, then we'll be good. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heater back on. My defrost. Just get this up here. Notice it dropped to 20.1, so I lost about 3 miles there. But again, I'll turn it back off to get back that miles. Okay, get those electric miles back. So I'm doing different speeds, anywhere from 35. Okay, turn this off. Boom, 22.8. So again, I got almost everything back. So I'm going everything from 35 mile per hour speeds all the way up to low 70s. So it's not like I'm only doing city street speeds at 35 miles per hour and doing super hypermiling. I'm just driving normally. The only difference is I'm flipping that switch down below so that I'm making the car do the work on the starts, making it do the electric, or making it do the gas / hybrid work, and then doing my coasting, my hypermiling when I can. And I am consistently getting, depending on the temperature, I'm consistently getting in the 35 range. I'll be braking, so I'm going to regenerate a little bit here. There's 22 and a half. It's going to be a pretty decent day. We might even hit 36, maybe 37. So again, I try to hypermile when I can, so I'm coasting as much as I can. So I'm doing a lot of coasting right here, so I'm not using anything at all. And I'll apply my brakes smoothly, just like you've seen in some videos to hypermile. So I've got 61% battery, and I'm at 22.6 miles left. We're about 2.5 miles to my son's school. So as you can see, and I don't know if I told everybody or not, a round trip to drop my son off and come back to my house is 35.1 miles. And what we're going to do today is we're going to actually deplete all the miles, so we get our total how many miles used. I'm not going to stop back at my house. We're gonna take it all the way to the end, and so theoretically, if I'm going 35.1 miles, here we go. Turn the button, boom, punch it. Now I know that. Hit it. See, now right now I push the button. It doesn't want to go back into. Doesn't want to go. So I'm just coasting. There we go. It went back in. So if it doesn't do that, sometimes it doesn't want to come back right away. I coast. That's why I punch it and get up to speed quickly. Then I can coast it down until it goes back into EV mode. Sometimes it just doesn't want to play nice. It's not an exact science. I don't know exactly why it won't come back all the way, but it doesn't. Or I'm sorry, why it doesn't do it quickly. So I got a light up here. Do a little bit of coasting. I should regenerate to over 22 again, maybe 22.2. Getting ready to hit my button again. 22.3, hit the button. I'm gonna punch it to about, there it kicked in right away. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But if you're not keeping track like I am, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get such more life out of your battery. I'm at 59%, and I've still got. We've gone 16.2 miles, and we've got 21.8, 21.7 electric miles still, and the battery's 58%. And I'm not too far from my son's school. Again, for me, halfway trip, because I usually just go back to my house and then just plug it back in. So as you can see, we're going 16 plus miles, and I've still got 58% battery left. Right there, that should tell you I'm going to get 35, maybe 37 miles. Subtract the miles. What I do is I take my total miles used and I subtract my hybrid / gas miles, and that tells me how many electric miles I used. Okay, so I'm going to hit my button again. Punch it. Hit the button, let off the gas, boom, went back to EV mode. Coast, do my normal hypermiling drive. Turn my defrost on for a second. Sounds like a lot of work, but if you really want to get the most out of your electric battery, this is, I haven't found anything better yet. And I haven't seen anybody on YouTube doing it like this. So hopefully you guys can get even better numbers than I can. Okay, turn this off. Now, I'm gonna turn right here. Speed limit's like 30-ish miles per hour. So again, I'm only gonna use up about 1/2 of a tenth of battery here. But I'm doing it twice, so I count that as one. Boom, went right back to EV mode. Now I'm just coasting, doing the speed limit. As you can see, I'm at 58% battery. I still got 21.5 miles. Doing pretty good today. We'll definitely hit 35 miles of electric. I'm hoping we can get 36 to 37. We'll see. But I promised 35, so. Come on, you're not supposed to let that through. It's going to cause an accident. Alright, I'm going to end the video here. We're going to do 2 parts of the video. We're going to go ahead and end the video here, and then I'll start back up here in a minute.